Good morning, my friends. Welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds. Remember, it's not an inspirational podcast. I'm Marie-Pierre. It's not a motivational podcast, but a transformational podcast because inspiration fades, motivation comes and goes depending on the days, but transformation totally changes who I am, who I interact with, what I actually do. This is what it's about. And our objective is to help everyone we work with be financially free, debt free, mortgage free, and have enough money to help other people in need. For us to help somebody else in need, we need to be completely wealthy ourselves, right? It's always hard to save someone when we need saving. That's why they say when we're flying, the flight attendant says, in case of emergency, put on your oxygen mask first and then help somebody else out. So this is the main goal. And today you're going to want to share the podcast. How many people do you know who have had great ideas, but unfortunately they go from one great idea to another, to another, to another, and nothing ever happens in between? And this is what we're going to cover today. How do you take a great idea, plan it out, and execute the plan to make it happen, revise the plan, replan, and re-execute until you bring that idea to success. But before we go there, we need to do some sharing because I think all of us know a lot of people who have great ideas, but that's exactly where it stops, at the great idea. So Marie-Pierre, am I going to know the top 10 today?
Yes, we are
Yes. Okay.
Thursday. So we are Thursday. We're gonna announce the top 10 month to date. But before that, we want to make sure that we share everywhere. So you have all your different social media platforms. So when you click on the arrow, you can share everywhere. But you will see that you can also share by messenger, text message. So if you have someone in mind that really needs to hear the podcast this morning, you can send it directly to that person. So that is the best way to make sure that they will click on the link. And when you share on all the different social media platforms, you have a text in the comment that you can copy paste so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. And then we have our contest, Limiana de Diamant. So first, when you go on our Facebook group, Limiana de Diamant Inspirational Group, every time that you post, every time that you comment, every time that you react, you gain point during the month to be in the top 10 contributor. And at the end of the month, the official top 10, get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Limiana de Diamant. And our top 10 month to date, again, you have until the end of the month to be in the official top 10, but month to date, we have number 10, the page. It was French English at the same time. The page, des images et des mots. Number 9, we have Marie Larose. Number 8, Sherry Novak. Number 7, Monique Strathern. Number 6, Nathalie Brochu. Number 5, Seka Motivation. Number 4, Lise
Ah,
Boucher. Number 3,
there's another name I don't know.
number 3, Kenra Fingassel. Number 2, Louise Gauthier. And number 1, Martha Noel. So yes, for the first time that we have in the top 10, it's Marie Rose. That she's there for the first time in the top 10. Yeah, that's really fun. So again, it's you have until the end of the month to be in the official top 10. And then we have a draw at the end of each month. So to be in the draw, there's two ways. First, you can go and with the boutique Limiana de Diamant. So when you place order or when you receive your order, always take a picture and post on social media and tag Limiana de Diamant to be in the draw. So use that app and then you write Limiana de Diamant so you can tag Limiana de Diamant to be in the draw. And then same thing but with the books Limiana de Diamant. So you just receive one of the books, you take a picture, you're reading one of the book, again, take a picture. You're doing one of the quiz book, you can take a picture. You're doing one of the workbook, you can take a picture. You're doing your agenda today, again, you can take a picture. That means that you can have a new picture every day to post on social media and always tag Limiana de Diamant so you can be in the draw. And of course, the person with the most posts have the most chance in the draw at the end of the month. And if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, it's time to get your ticket. So click on the link to be with us at the conference. And it's a virtual conference. That means that it's for everyone all around the world that can join us. And even if the time is not right for you, you can watch it in replay because you're going to receive the link after that to watch it in replay if you cannot be with us live during the conference. But for those that want to be with us live and even in the studio, we still have some places. So send me a message when you get your ticket so I can add you to the list if you want to be with us at the studio. Voilà.
I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I send a message to Melissa. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Good news. Good news. Because Marie-Pierre, today's podcast is all about that. Just quick. And Marie-Pierre, I'm just going to tell them. So week one, we were equal in recruiting. Like when
Yeah.
we recognized all of North America, we were equal, which was fabulous, but we don't settle for equal, right? So now you have a plan because it's all related to today's podcast. So I just checked the numbers as we're speaking. We went from 47 to 147, something like that.
100 more.
And I said, "Oh my God, that's what happens with a sound plan." And let this be an example. So I just want to make sure Melissa gets it every single day, even twice a day, to recognize who's recruited and how many surprise bags they have. No, come on, we're getting there. Okay, so are you ready to lean in? Because I don't talk out of. I read this book and it says, no. When I talk, I read the book and I refer to personal experience because that's where I'm here to tell you, yes, it does work. Or sometimes we've done books and I'm telling you read this, he's basing it only on him. And often, sorry guys that are listening, him. He's forgetting there's laundry, there's this, there's that. Anyways, so this is what this podcast is really about. We're going to transform with hands on, not what I think, not what you think, but what's real. Okay. So from desire to a sound plan. So if you're taking down notes, that would be the first note I'll take down. What is my deepest desire? I've had many coachings with many of you, and you share with me your desire, but you need a sound plan. Okay, people don't fail because they lack desire. Everybody has a desire. They fail because they never turn that desire into a sound plan. Example, I want to qualify for the cruise. It takes me 4,805 activated recruits. A sound plan says, okay, let's divide this per day, 5 days a week. So divided by 20. And then let's divide what is required for recruiting. And we're going to do 10 messages a day because generally it takes, example, 25 messages to get one activated recruit, type of thing. It's called a sound plan. And I want you to really hear me here today because desire, everybody has it. Everybody wants more money. Everybody wants more freedom. Everybody wants a better life. But waiting is not building. Waiting is not building. Nobody's going to say, hey, James, hey, Kendra, hey, Julie, hey, Jean-Philippe, we just recognize it. No, nobody owes us nothing. So after 42 years in this business, after seeing thousands and thousands, oh my God, thousands of people, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. The difference between those who stay stuck and frustrated and those who build a fortune that are unapologetically ambitious is not their talent and it's not their intelligence. Don't forget, my mother became a multi-millionaire and she didn't know how to read or write. We have Melanie Miller, who's a multi-millionaire, and she has a doctorate's degree, and so does Alan, her husband. Okay. What they have in common is this. They made a plan. They follow a plan. They tested the plan. They've proven the plan, and they repeated the plan. So if you're taking down, make a plan, follow the plan, test, prove, repeat. Okay. I would add rinse, repeat, because in repeating the plan, we always make it a little bit better. So I want to bring you into my own story because I started in this business, not as the best, right? I didn't start the smartest. I was 18 years old. I'm selling kitchen containers. I'm not even in the kitchen, but I did make one decision. Okay. Decision of the mission. Yes. Okay. I did make one decision that changed absolutely everything. I decided to hang around people who are better than me. I'm going to share two reels this morning after the podcast that I listened to that I want you to understand. You are the sum of the 5 people you surround. So sometimes hearing me say it all the time, you don't listen to me anymore, but I'll share you some information on my stories today. So I was a Tupperware director. I did go to meetings. This is what happened. I went to meetings. I went to manager meetings, business leader meetings, and I became what I call back in the days an excellent follower. Okay. I did not talk in my first 5 years in this business. I was a listener. I took notes, and whatever they said to do, I did. So I listened, I observed, I took notes, and most importantly, I did not try to reinvent the wheel. Biggest mistake a lot of people do is even before having success, they're already adjusting what is working out there. This was the difference with me. I did not try to reinvent the wheel. I simply copy, pasted, exactly word for word. I mean, I even told the same jokes in my party. And if they said make 25 calls to book 2 parties, I made 50 calls to book 4 parties. And whatever they told me to do, I doubled it, so I'm unapologetically ambitious. I've always have been. So whatever they told me to do, I did more. They told me to do 6 surveys. I was averaging to have 3 recruits. Back in the days, we would go see the people one-on-one. I always did an average of 12 a week. That being said, I didn't question it. I didn't improve it. I executed what they told me to do. They were the best of the best, and they were earning a lot of money, and I wanted exactly what they had. Okay. So I execute it. And this is where most people go wrong. They want to improve something they haven't even proven works yet. Okay, you don't do that. But I said, let me master it first, then I'll improve. So when I started doing what they told me, I built what I call a solid foundation. A solid foundation based on what was already working. So here's the core of the teaching today. There's going to be three truths. Oh, there goes my Italian. Okay, there's going to be 3 reality checks. I'll go like that. 3 truths. Okay. First one, no one succeeds alone. So if you're leaning in and you're taking notes, no one succeeds alone. No individual has enough experience, knowledge, or perspective alone. And I lived this. Those meetings I was part of, that was my mastermind. That's where ideas were sharpened, plans were validated, mistakes were corrected. Success is not built in isolation, it's built in collaboration. And this is why I always tell you, stay close to the fire. Those that I've coached, you're entitled to be at the director power hours on Monday morning. Be there. There's a training, English training on Monday night. Be there. It's free. And if it's free, it's for me, right? On a Tuesday morning, we have the power hours. Be there. Tuesday night, we have the English welcome class, the English rally. Be there. There's the social media training. Be there. Do you understand me, guys? Okay. Stay close to the fire because it's built in collaboration. Built in collaboration. That is your mastermind, right? Truth number 2, a plan must be respected, not adjusted emotionally. And this is what a lot of people do. They put a plan together for the month of March, and then they're already adjusting it emotionally because this happened. They got angry. They got upset. They felt pain. No. Stick to the plan, a system, not guessing, not feeling, not I feel like doing this today, instead of a system, numbers. If you did the activity, you got this result. So remember, you got to embrace the boring, the mundane. We covered that in another podcast. I think it was Atomic Habits. You need to be in that unwavering schedule. Every time I failed, it was not because the system didn't work. It's because I cut corners. It's like a diet. If you cheat, it's gonna show. You can eat all the salad you want in front of me, but if you're cheating, it's gonna show. I didn't do the 25 calls, or I did them but half-assed job. You know, understand what I'm saying? I didn't follow the exact process, or if I did, it was half-assed, right? And I wanted the results anyway. I'm here. Doesn't work. It's like a diet, okay? And truth number 3, failure is not you. It's the plan. When you fail, when I fail, I never say I'm a failure. I failed to respect my plan. It was my lack of discipline that made me fail. And it's a huge difference between I'm a failure and I failed to follow the plan. So truth number 3 is failure is not you. I failed. No, the plan failed. And more specifically, you didn't follow the plan, or the plan wasn't sound either. That could be also that you had an insane plan and it wasn't adequate, right? But You stay in the game. I always say I'm allowed to put one knee down, but never two. So what do winners do? We never quit. We never, 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 never quit. This is why a lot of resilience is required if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. They adjust the plan, they rebuild the plan, and they start all over again. Let the bankruptcy of Tupperware be a phenomenal example of our company, how, you know, we didn't fail. It's the plan out there that failed. And we've been readjusting. And finally, we can feel the momentum. We can feel the wind beneath our wings. So I want to leave you with this, okay? I want you to picture, let me give you a picture actually. Success is like building a house. You don't just say, I want a house. You're going to need a blueprint, a structure, a team, inspections, adjustment. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If the foundation isn't solid, okay, because you cheated, and I have a nice story on somebody who cheated in building a house, only to find out at the end, because he wanted to make more money, only to find out at the end that the contractor knew he needed money and he gave him the keys to his brand new house that he built, but he knew he built by cheating. And he knew all the problems he was going to have with the freaking house. Okay, so remember, when you're cheating, you're only cheating yourself. So the beauty here is if the foundation is not solid, you can still build something. It might look good for a while, but over time, cracks will show, the foundation will crack. And this is what I see in business all the time. People cut corners, skip steps, rush results. And yes, sometimes they get results, but it's like a diet, right? They cheat, you cheat, and you see results for a moment, but eventually it doesn't give anything. Nothing substantial is built. It catches up to us. The structure weakens, but I didn't cheat the foundation. It's been solid now for 43 years. I've always respected the plan. I've always respected the process. And because of that, I didn't just grow fast. Most importantly, I grew solid, and we brought this business to heights that never, ever, ever could have been imagined in a Tupperware plastic company world. People earning $1 million, building multi-millionaires. Like, who does this with plastic containers? So my key message today is if you feel right now like I want more, but it's not working, I want you to ask yourself the following question. Do I have a sound plan? Am I following it, or am I modifying it based on my emotions? Am I surrounded by the right people, or am I trying to do this alone? Because millions of people go through life with desires, but without a plan. And desire without a plan becomes frustration. Now we're going to go over to Marie-Pierre, because these are the real questions that are going to become: what makes a sound plan? What builds it correctly, and how to succeed. So Marie-Pierre, with no further ado, over to you.
Thank you. So we continue here with the next part. So thank you, Maria. And we will continue with that the key idea that desire without a plan will always lead to inconsistent results. So the question is not to ask, do we want success, but it will be to see, do we have already a structure and a measurable plan that we can execute consistently? Because when a plan is well designed, now the outcome become more predictable and not just random. So what is that plan that will really give you the result that you want? So the sound plan is not just good intention, it's not just a temporary burst of your motivation or a one-time effort. So a sound plan will always have four characteristics. Number one, it is tested. So it's based on experience. So it's based on data. So it's tested. Number two, it is measurable. So you can track your input and your output. Number three, it is repeatable. You can execute it consistently. And number four, it is independent of your mood. So it works even when motivation is low. So, like Maria said, for example, 25 calls that will give you two bookings. That's a plan that is tested, that is measurable, that is repeatable, and independent of your mood. Or you're doing 6 survey and to have 3 recruits, Perfect. It's tested, it's measurable, it's repeatable, and independent of your mood. So it is a system. It's not subjective. So your system will reduce that uncertainty. So instead of just asking, will this work? You will ask, am I executing the system as designed? Because why most people fail? Not because of the plan, but the ability to follow the plan. So there's three reasons that people will fail usually. Number one is because of the emotional decision making. So people will adjust their action based on how they feel instead of following that definite process, that some plan that you put together. Number two reason is the lack of measurement. So you're doing everything, but you're not tracking. You cannot identify why you need what you need improvement on. So it's gonna be one of the reasons. And number three is the lack of collaboration thinking. So the principle is simple about the collaborative thinking, because one person that operates with limited data and perspective, that means that you can always have that much result, because you are alone. So you really want to have those people around you. So do you have that mastermind? So of course, the mastermind will be something that we'll talk a lot more further into the book, because there's going to be a whole chapter on the mastermind. But we already want to start this principle of the mastermind, and because it's something that you can already start to build with your people around you, so you have that right people that will help you achieve your goal. So when you look at your mastermind, it's not just a simple group that you say, okay, we are together, we work, let's go. No, no. It's a structure collaboration that will, you need to see, do you have that shared objective all together? Do you have a regular interaction with everyone? Do you have that mutual contribution and collective problem solving? So the goal is to improve the decision making and to refine the execution of the plan. So to refine the plan. So if you want to be this group to be effective, you need to have those conditions that must be met. So the four conditions for a strong mastermind, again, we'll go over that later in the book too, but you want to start your mastermind, because I know when Maria read that book for the first time, that's where she stopped and she said, I need a mastermind. And then she started to build that mastermind, and she started to look at the people. But I know that she looked at everyone for a long, long time before deciding who she wanted to start with that mastermind. And with time, it might change also. So the people that we started with the mastermind are not the same people right now. So it's but you need those four conditions if you want to have a strong mastermind. So number one, the right participant. So selection matter. So take the time to select your participants. So you want people that are committed. You want people that are social solution oriented and that will maintain that consistency even under pressure. So you want to choose those people who do not disengage at the first difficulty. Number two condition for a strong mastermind is to have clear value exchange. So each participant must receive a value. So the value can be the knowledge, accountability, opportunity, and performance feedback. So without a clear benefit, the engagement will decrease over time. Number three condition for the strong mastermind will be the frequency and structure. So regular interaction is essential. So the recommendation in the book said twice per week, because you want that frequency to ensure that you are always aligned all together, that you can have the correction that will come faster if needed, and that you have that sustained momentum, because without that structure it will just become inconsistent. So you have the plan, but the execution become inconsistent. And number four condition to have a strong mastermind is harmony. So this is a critical condition. So harmony does not mean agreeing on everything, but it means respect. It means constructive communication and the shared focus. Because without it, your decision making will slow down. Collaboration will weaken, and again, the execution of the plan will suffer. So again, when you faced with failure, this is where you have to see it as feedback. So when you have a failure is to say, okay, I have the plan. What did I test? What did I measure? What did I can adjust and what can I repeat? So you need to refine that plan. So it's not that you fail, but the plan failed. So you follow it and it worked perfect. So if it didn't work, to look at where you track it to make sure that you still align with your plan and how you can refine the plan. So now how can we put it all together and in a practical way? So step number one is the question to ask for yourself. It's not like a quiz, but really I want to start your reflection. So step number one, do you have a plan? And is it a measurable plan? Are you operating just on intention alone? Or do you write something? Step number two, are you tracking your activity? Because again, if it's not measured, it cannot be improved. So what are you tracking right now about your plan? And step number three, do you have that mastermind? So who contributes to your thinking? Who challenged you when you need it? Who challenged all your assumptions? So do you have that mastermind? Maybe not structure yet, like they talk about in the book, but do you have those people around you that contribute to your thinking? And number four, are you consistent or do you restart based on motivation level? Because again, if you are, it's always based on your motivation, on your mood, that means that you need to revise your plan. So again, it can be measurable, it's already been tested, and it's repeatable, and it's not and it's independent of your mood. So it's something that you can do even when motivation is not there. So the result will see through the system that you can improve. So again, you need your plan, execution, but measurement, tracking, and adjustment will really make the difference when you track because you know exactly how to improve. So your plan will define the direction, but when you have a system, it will ensure that you have the execution of the plan. So, and measurement will allow you to always improve. So, on that, I wish you a beautiful day, and we will see you tomorrow morning for the next part of the podcast.